The Office of the Inspector General's Financial Structure Audit is brought to you by Schoberg Eva Schenk Consulting, or SEC. The OIG contracted with SEC to do this important work. Here's George Skiles to tell you about the report.
Hi, I'm George Skiles. The OIG asked SEC to address 4 audit objectives. Those were 1. To what extent does the current organizational structure of the Office of the Controller-Treasurer assure its independence? 2. How does BART's current financial structure compare with best practices and other large transit agencies? 3. What are the advantages and disadvantages of consolidating finance functions and modifying reporting structures into a single department? And 4. Are the responsibilities of the risk management function appropriate for its continued placement within the Office of the Controller-Treasurer? In addressing those objectives, our audit identified 5 key observations about the district. Our first observation was that both the Controller-Treasurer and the General Manager fulfilled their respective roles and responsibilities as defined in the Bart Act and Code of Ordinances as they relate to the financial operations of the district. Our second observation came from our review of 11 peer transit agencies, which found that each centralized key financial operations under a chief financial officer or an equivalent executive position that reports directly to a chief executive officer, and that most centralized general accounting, budgeting, revenue, treasury, and grant administration within the same office. In no case were accounting, treasury, or risk management functions not under the purview of the CEO. Our third observation was that the work of the Controller-Treasurer and the General Manager are, both in practice and as required in the Bart Act and Code of Ordinances, interdependent in ways that do not exist among any of the other board-appointed offices. Because of this, the organizational independence that currently exists between the Controller-Treasurer and the General Manager may prove to be an organizational weakness rather than a strength. Our fourth observation was that a structure that unifies, rather than bifurcates financial-related functions, is most likely to provide the flexibility, agility, and innovation required of BART and all transit agencies over the next decades. In fact, over the last 30 years, the role of CFOs in the public sector has evolved beyond basic accounting, finance, control, reporting, and compliance tasks to roles that create value by helping improve program and operational performance. Today, municipalities and special districts throughout California have established and rely on CFOs, as do all of the transit systems benchmarked in our study, demonstrating the shift away from siloed accounting and treasury functions toward holistic and strategic financial performance management. And our final observation was that, by its very nature, risk management is inextricably linked to both the fiscal operations of BART and to the business operations of BART, including the core functions of BART overseen by the General Manager. Based on our observation and in answer to the audit objectives, we found that BART's organizational structure is unique among peer transit agencies in that it bifurcates management responsibilities between 2 independent board appointees. The Controller-Treasurer manages specific financial operations, and the General Manager manages all other district operations, including other financial operations such as budgeting, financial planning, capital planning, and others. While most of those we interviewed described positive working relationships between the offices, management recognized that there are opportunities for improvement. Therefore, we concluded that consolidating financial operations under a CFO that reports directly to the General Manager will better position BART to address improvement opportunities and meet challenges ahead. Given our conclusion, we recommended that the BART Board of Directors establish an Office of Chief Financial Officer that consolidates financial functions and responsibilities of the district within the span of control of the General Manager. The best path forward to achieving this structure is to amend the Bart Act. The Board of Directors will discuss the audit recommendation at a future board meeting and decide whether to accept it and, if so, how best to move forward. Now let's welcome Harriet Richardson, who will discuss why it is important for the directors to agree to the recommendation.
Thank you, George. A CFO structure provides the best outlook for BART's financial future. It will bring the district into the modern era of financial leadership. It is important for the board and every BART stakeholder to understand the value of the recommendation. The Four Faces Framework, presented by the Journal of Government Financial Management, best describes why that is true. The framework explains that a primary role of a CFO is to facilitate trust in government, and that, in today's world, a CFO must take on the traditional roles of financial leaders, as well as modern roles that look outward and forward. The CFO structure envisioned with the audit recommendation is one that mirrors the Four Faces framework. Since finance leaders are responsible for maintaining compliance with mandates and managing an organization's overall finances, they play four distinct and challenging roles. Let's take a look at them, shall we? First, you have the steward, a traditional role charged with preserving an organization's assets by minimizing risk and maintaining the books. Second, you have the operator, also a traditional role, but one that is also charged with closely managing efficient and effective financial operations. Third, you have the catalyst. This is a modern role that instills a financial mindset throughout the organization and helps all aspects of an agency perform better. And fourth, you have the strategist. This is also a modern role, which plays a key role in shaping an organization's overall strategy and direction. Let's take a closer look at each of these critical roles. According to the Four Faces framework, the steward protects the agency's vital assets, ensures compliance with financial regulations, and closes the books correctly. The steward also communicates value and risks to agency leadership, and their focus is accounting and control, risk management and preserving assets, and identifying risk in partnership with functional and business unit owners. As for the operator, the Four Faces framework says, this role runs an efficient, effective finance organization to provide a variety of services to the broader agency, and that the operator aims to balance capabilities, talent, costs, and service levels to fulfill the finance organization's responsibilities. And the operator's focus is efficient and effective operations, including the overall risk management of day-to-day operations. Now for the catalyst. This role stimulates change in the finance function or the entire agency. The catalyst can prioritize, recommend, and select improvement initiatives, such as enterprise cost reductions, procurement, user fee development, and other process upgrades and innovations to accomplish the mission. The catalyst's focus is disciplined execution of strategic choices, changing organizational behavior by promoting the value of innovation, and leadership in communications and advocacy for change. And, finally, the strategist. The Four Faces framework says that the strategist takes a seat at the strategic planning table and influences the agency's future. Vital in financial leadership and the alignment of business and finance strategy to support agency mission, the strategist can also play an essential role in supporting other long-term agency investments. The strategist's focus is moving the agency to enhance performance and outcomes, and facilitating change and collaborating with internal stakeholders to prepare for and drive change. I hope you can see that implementing a CFO structure will greatly benefit BART. Doing so will move BART away from its bifurcated processes to an agency that consolidates financial functions similar to its peer transit agencies. This will place BART's financial leader at the strategic table in a manner that is reflective of the modern approach to financial leadership. This will better position BART to embrace the four faces of the CFO framework and better position the district for its next 50 years of operation. Thanks for joining us today.
Take care.